Seeing flashing lights in your rearview mirror often makes you nervous. However, it's just another day on the job for Corporal Shadrach Shepard at the Sarcoxie Police Department.
Sir, my favorite part of the job would have to be just assisting younger officers that are new to law enforcement, passing on a lot of the knowledge that I've collected over the years.
And he says we're all human and things happen, and the Sarcoxie police officers are no different.
Maybe show them mistakes that I've made that I can hopefully keep them from making, or when they do make mistakes, be able to tell them, hey, I've made this before. This is what we can do to correct that. This is what we need to do, and this is what we need to keep from doing next time.
Chief Brandy Coram is Shepard's boss, but she still takes calls of her own while she juggles teaching and running the department.
I mean, just making sure that my guys are doing their job appropriately, and I still have to take calls for duty, or calls for service, while still being the chief.
Not only did I speak with command staff, but I also spoke with regular patrol officers to see what their day was like and how they felt about the job. Officer Tanner Rice's pulling someone over is also nerve-wracking for the officer.
The thing is just the unknown, about what could happen and what could be the outcome. So, because it could be a positive outcome, it could be a very bad outcome. Of course, the goal at the end of the day is go home.
And also, keep everyone safe. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Jordan Sanderson.
Rental houses require a lot of upkeep, and no one knows that better than Richard Nordell. He has been managing rental houses for more than 10 years, and he says there's good money to be made.
Sure. I mean, it is, again, a money-making opportunity. There's always value in homes, provided you keep them up.
However, there can be some headaches. Renters sometimes destroy the house.
The most damage, they took a bat to all the light fixtures. They destroyed the oven, kicked holes in doors, broke the windows in the house, as to cut the AC lines.
He makes it a family affair, and his wife Sandy helps manage the houses.
The drawbacks of being a rental manager is when your renters destroy the house that they're living in, and we have to fix them constantly.
Rental managing takes a toll on the Nordell couple.
I would recommend rental managing to anybody that is the younger generation, because it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of hours.
The cost of rent for these houses isn't as pricey as some people believe.
The average cost of rent per house is $600 per month.
However, some renters can't pay this and get evicted.
What it takes to be evicted, of course, non-payment of rent, or if they're doing some sort of illegal activity.
Hopefully, the next renters appreciate the hard work that goes into each house. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Allie Nordell.
Sophomore Logan Hosfeld is fast on his feet. He doesn't waste much time in the halls going from point A to point B.
It helps me get to class faster and burn calories.
Logan says that slow walkers sometimes get in his way and they slow him down.
And it is annoying if they don't move, if you ask them to.
And while some people like to walk fast in the halls, others like to take their time. Lainey Reeves is also a sophomore, who's one of those slow walkers that gets in Logan's way, but she says she can't help it.
I walk slow because I'm kind of short and I don't really feel like there's a need to rush.
And being a slow walker, she says, has some consequences, like getting tardies.
I've gotten tardy one time, but
because you're slow walking?
It's because I'm slow walking, yeah.
So is there a way slow and fast walkers can get along in the halls?
Just stop walking in big groups, and if you do, walk fast, you know?
I feel like if there was not necessarily lanes, but if there was a section where slow walkers could be and fast walkers, it would make it so much easier.
Like fast walkers, we zoom through this story. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Wyatt Hensley.
Perfect.
It's not every class where you spend the hour building robots, but for Carlos Padilla, that's his 6th hour.
The robot I'm building is a robot, well, of course it drives around the court, and then it also gathers the ball from the front and it shoots it, it lifts it up and shoots it into the tower.
He's in Don Carey's robotics class, and Carey says his students get hands-on experience with the project.
Hi, I'm Don Carey, and I teach the robotics class here at Joplin High School. There are 2 sections, Robotics 1 and Robotics 2. So first students in the class will be R1s, and they are juniors or seniors at grade level for math, or sophomores who have had my engineering and design class as freshmen and have done well there. It is a class that is heavy in both engineering and design and actual construction. We do build robots in the class and compete with them, both against each other and against with other skills or against other schools.
Most would assume this class is just like complicated Lego builds with instructions, but Carlos says otherwise.
Pretty fun. I thought it'd be a bit more boring, but it was a lot different than I thought. I thought we'd be building like different robots based off of a manual, but instead we're like making our own robots just for a competition. So it's pretty fun.
Carrie says building the robots is an all-year process.
Within a month or so of the time school starts, we will begin building robots and continue in that iterative design process for the rest of the school year, making them ever more complicated, ever more capable, learning as we go, failing as we go, learning as we go, continuing to design and improve.
Reporting for Jet HD, this is Tyron Turner.
There's an abundance of plants outside, but why stop there? One home doesn't. Plants are welcome and, some might argue, collected.
Amber Jordan loves her plants,
you can
so
see all
much
the
in
roots.
fact she's lost count of how many she has.
So the first plant that started the inside collection was not purchased. That was Polwit, the pothos or devil's ivy that Nana propagated from one of her pothos.
Her mother was a big influence in Jordan's lifestyle.
Mom, Nana, always had pothos growing in my house.
Corey Jordan is her husband, and he also grew up in a house that collected plants.
Since I was a little kid, my grandma had a yard and a house full of all kinds of plants, and I like plants.
Although they both enjoy a good bit of inside foliage, the couple had some trouble keeping some of the plants alive when they first started.
I've always liked plants, but very bad at keeping them alive inside the house when I had small children and pets. Now I have bigger children and older pets.
With an easier environment for plants to survive, the missus has accumulated quite a few.
Probably about 30, because I bought several plants the past 2 weeks.
But she's not picky. She loves them all.
Like the others came in because it's like, oh, this is really pretty and this is viney.
And she collects some plants just because their name sounds cool.
And I wanted to get some philodendrons because I like the word philodendron because that's a really cool word.
Reporting for Jet HD, I'm Gia Jordan.
When brought up between Joplin High School students, one of the most divisive topics is whether the Chromebook or the MacBook is better. Here I'm going to bring to you two people that prefer one or the other and see what they think is the better laptop.
When it comes to computers at Joplin High School, students are divided. Ben Davis loves his MacBook.
I like MacBooks instead of Chromebooks because they're better for educational reasons.
Ben says MacBooks can take a hit and are sturdier than the Chromebook.
Chromebooks aren't as sturdy as MacBooks are. You can drop a MacBook and make it a dent or in a corner or something, but it's still able to work and stuff.
Jameson Lane, on the other hand, prefers the Chromebook to last year's MacBook.
And you want to know why I love the Chromebooks? Because it's safe and you can't do nothing bad on the internet.
And Jameson says the Chromebook has more features for parents to monitor their kids' safety.
So the Chromebook has this feature where your parents or your principal can see everything you do on it, like what you search up or like what you watch or what you've been doing on this. So I think it's really safe.
Whichever way you fall on the argument, it looks like Chromebooks are here to stay. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Tyler Licklider.
It may look like Isaiah Hendricks is rocking out. However, he's actually in school. He's taking Matt Stanley's audio production class and he loves it.
With the audio production courses that I have, I teach either, something more along the lines of, with music, it's with mixing and mastering and creating your own songs, making your own tunes, making your own beats.
Along with music, kids can host their own talk shows.
And I have the other side of it, which is kind of the non-music stuff, which is like podcasting, voiceover work, special effects.
He teaches 3 hours a day of audio production classes.
My 7th hour is an audio production class.
He's impressed by what his students can do.
Listening to what kind of music different students come up with and what kind of tunes and things that they can mix and master, it just never ceases to amaze and impress me.
Stanley hopes his students enjoy his class.
I I would like to think the students enjoy my class. I know for some of them, it's well, probably for a lot of them, it's a little different than what they're used to in a regular classroom.
Daniel loves and enjoys teaching his class. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Ben Davis.
Reporting in from Joplin Memorial, I am Mary Hardy, and I am interviewing Mr. Levi Butts, who gives a new name to the word eagle eye.
The Joplin archery teams say practice makes perfect, so hitting that target takes some time. And Mr. Butts says this year has been different.
We had a little bit of a late start this year, waiting on some guidance and trying to figure out how we were going to run such a big team and have such a big activity take place in the times of COVID-19.
How are those tournaments set up this year with COVID?
So NAS regulations with shooting, it's a little tricky. Much of it is left up to the state, much of it's left up to the school.
National Archery and School Program, or NASP, which is the boss that overviews how the teams are regulated, had rolled out some late COVID regulations.
It took so long for NASP to get guidelines out, and there's still guidelines, and it took a while for the state to get regulations out. So it's school by school.
Due to having such a big team, Butts had to socially distance the students and break them into 2 groups.
Initially, when we first started, because we're such a big activity, historically we've had 40, 50 archers show up that want to participate. And we don't make cuts, so those archers get to shoot all season with us. So initially, we said that those archers can only come on their A and B day. The goal there was to keep the numbers in the gym down.
The team hopes that next year they can compete at the state level, but for now they are getting a lot of practice to win some competitions. Reporting for Jet HD, this is Mary Hardy.